Jeff has good news for Spotty.
For reasons of my work, I have to travel to Egypt, and my boss told me that I could take company, so I decided to invite you and your friends.
Thank you, Jeff. This is a big surprise. I will go home and pack everything up. Let's go, buddies.
Jeff and Spotty are boarding the plane that is almost ready to go to Egypt in this wonderful adventure. Spotty brought his friends, Max and Daisy, to join them into the travel. An average, non-stop flight from the United States to Egypt takes 18 hours 15 minutes, covering a distance of 6,509 miles. The most popular route is New York, Cairo, with an average flight time of 10 hours 35 minutes. The ancient Egyptians used picture words to write called hieroglyphics. It is a very old form of writing that they started using as early as 3000 BC. Hieroglyphics was a very complicated way of writing involving 1000s of symbols. Egyptologists believe the pyramid was built as a tomb for the 4th dynasty Egyptian pharaoh Khufu, often Hellenized as Cheops, and was constructed over a 20-year period. Khufu's vizier, Humayun, also called Hemen, is believed by some to be the architect of the Great Pyramid. Amazing facts about the camel. Camels are social animals who roam the deserts in search of food and water with up to 30 other individuals. With the exception of rutting males competing for females, camels are very peaceful animals who rarely exhibit aggression. Camels in ancient Egypt. The one-humped camel or dromedary, Camelus dromedarius, is already sporadically tested in the early dynastic period, but it was not regularly used until much later. Foreign conquerors, Assyrians, Persians, Alexander the Great, brought the camel on a greater scale to Egypt. Amazing facts about the camel. Camels are social animals who roam the deserts in search of food and water with up to 30 other individuals. With the exception of rutting males competing for females, camels are very peaceful animals who rarely exhibit aggression. Carved from the bedrock of the Giza Plateau, the Sphinx is truly a mysterious marvel. From the days of ancient Egypt, the body of a lion, with the head of a king or god, the Sphinx has come to symbolize strength and wisdom. From the north side, the profile of the Sphinx reveals the proportion of the body to the head. The camel's dung can be used as a fuel with no drying necessary. Many nomadic tribes used the camels in the past, but as technology improves, fewer people of Egypt use the camel. Now, the main purpose of camels is for tourist rides and racing. Archaeologists believe Egypt's large pyramids are the work of the Old Kingdom society that rose to prominence in the Nile Valley after 3000 BC. Historical analysis tells us that the Egyptians built the Giza pyramids in a span of 85 years between 2589 and 2504 BC. Due to the general stability of Egyptian life and culture, all arts, including architecture and sculpture, as well as painting, metalwork and goldsmithing, were characterized by a highly conservative adherence to traditional rules, which favored order and form over creativity and artistic expression. Egyptian art was influenced by several factors, including the Nile River, the two kingdoms, the upper in the south and the lower in the north, agriculture and hunting, animals, the heavens, the pharaohs and gods, and religious beliefs. Ancient Egyptian art includes painting, sculpture, architecture, and other forms of art, such as drawings on papyrus, created between 3000 BC and 100 CE. Most of this art was highly stylized and symbolic. Paintings were often done on stone, and portrayed pleasant scenes of the afterlife and tombs. The first type is called a cultus temple, and was built to house a specific god or gods. The second type is called a mortuary temple and was built to worship a dead pharaoh. Over time, the temples of ancient Egypt grew into large complexes with many buildings. Luxor was an important political and religious center, since it was part of the ancient city of Thebes, the capital of Egypt. The Temple of Luxor, located near the banks of the Nile, was dedicated to the veneration of Ammon, who was associated with Mut and Khonsu, the Theban triad. The Temple of Karnak is the largest and one of the most visited temples of ancient Egypt. Cult temple dedicated to Ammon, Mut and Khonsu, the largest religious building ever constructed. The Temple of Karnak was known as Apet as they were most selective places by the ancient Egyptians. It is a city of temples built over 2,000 years and dedicated to the Theban triad of Ammon, Mut, and Khonsu. The importance of Karnak resided in its being the contact point between Ammon, the supreme ruler of the universe, and the pharaoh, the supreme ruler on earth who represented all Egyptian people. The fundamental basis of the growth of the ancient people of Egypt has been its proximity to the Nile River. Here are some interesting facts about the Nile River. The Nile River is the longest river in the world. The Nile flows into the Mediterranean Sea. The Nile has a length of about 6,695 kilometers, 4,160 miles. Its average discharge is 3.1 million liters, 680,000 gallons, per second. Pyramids originated from simple rectangular mastaba, tombs that were being constructed in Egypt over 5,000 years ago, according to finds made by archaeologist Sir Flinders Petrie. A major advance occurred during the reign of the pharaoh Djoser. Reign started around 2630 before Christ. Thank you very much for following our wonderful trip. We hope to see you in the next episode.
Thank you for watching our channel. Please help us pressing the subscribe button and give us a thumb up so we can keep making more educational videos.